And I'm going to start by sharing this screen right here and then get right into the information. But let me just give you an idea how this is going to work today. All right, so what you see on the screen right now is the definition of clear. And just took this right out of Webster's Dictionary. So this is our intention. And we want to make sure that you're clear, right? So number 9 is my favorite line of the 13. And this is really what you got to think about. This is our intention. We're weeding people out. We don't want to be working with the wrong people who are complaining on Monday. We want to be working with the people who see what we saw, 7 years ago. So free from doubt or confusion. So our follow-up is designed to make sure that you are free from doubt or confusion. Okay. So if you're confused about something, you won't move forward. Right? You're stuck there trying to figure it out. Well, we're going to help you figure it out today. And then finally, we want you to be very certain that this is what you want to do. Because once again, the last thing we want is some complainers that are working with us, right? All right, with that being said, here's the agenda today. We're going to start off with funding. Uh-oh, I'm frozen. Hold on. I'm going to have to come back in. All right, I'm gonna just talk it out here. Can you guys hear me? Somebody give me an indication that you can still hear me, even though you can still hear me. So Joseph, everybody else can hear me. Clear chat, please. All right, let's cover this. So the idea here, hang on, let me just do another share. Darn it. Computer normally doesn't freak out when I'm in the office, but today it is. All right, so here's the agenda, and we'll get on to it. The first thing we're going to cover today is the funding, because there's been a lot of folks that have contacted us this week after seeing everything and said, you know what, you guys are awesome. I did check out the Better Business Bureau. That's awesome. I did check out the the website. That you guys are the #1 rated real estate investing education company out there. Checked out the testimonies, checked out the instructors, checked it all out, and I'm ready to go. I just need to know how to fund it. So we're going to cover that first. We're actually going to cover the funding first, so the people that are just here to get that information can take off, and then we're going to cover the education second. So if somebody doesn't need to know about the education, they got that figured out, they just need to know funding, they can leave. And then last but not least, I'm going to cover, if anybody's here interested in making $1,000 to $10,000 on the enrollment side of the business, let me show you my back office really quick. I'm just going to remind you guys, and maybe some of you guys haven't seen this already. Hold please while I log in. Is my screen sharing? Oh man. Okay, here we go. Okay, thank you. Okay, so what you're about to see is the enrollment side for my wife and I. I'll just touch on this, and then I'll hand it over to Jaleesa to handle the funding for you guys. Okay, so commission. So we get paid a commission of $1,000 to $10,000 to enroll students. $1,000 for essentials, $10,000 for extreme combos, and then $4,000 for advanced combos. So what you're about to see as it loads up. Interesting. Okay, here we go. So my wife and I have made $95,000 in the last 10 weeks, right? We've made $1.1 million in the last 4 years, and we get paid twice a week. Okay, I'm going to cover this last because most of the folks that find us are interested in real estate investing. They may not be interested in making this kind of money starting next week. They just may be interested in doing real estate. So we'll cover that last. Okay, so funding first, then we'll answer questions about the education in detail, and then we're going to go over the how you guys can start making complete with in very much detail of what you got to do to start getting paid this week, what you even got to start doing. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to hand it over to the lovely and talented Jaleesa Baird. There she is right there. Now, let me tell you about Jaleesa. Jaleesa came to this situation just like you guys did. She was in Florida when she saw her first webinar. She now resides in South Carolina. She's getting married here very soon. G, you want to pull up your PowerPoint there? She's doing tremendous stuff on the real estate side. But when she came to us and saw this stuff, she actually she has a degree degree in real estate. So she went to a major college to get a degree in real estate, thinking that she was going to be a real estate investor. Okay. And unfortunately, they didn't teach her how to do fix and flips. They didn't teach her how to do wholesale. They taught her theory of financing and stuff, so she can go get a job in that industry. And that's not what she wanted. She didn't want a job. She wanted to flip houses and stuff. So she found us, and she was very skeptical, and so skeptical that she had her dad watch the whole thing, and he told her, I would stay as far away from these guys as possible. They just want your money. That was his thought. And that's okay. But it was eating at her. So she got into the classes, and she's done tremendously well in the real estate investing realm. She is award-winning. She's been awarded by Renatus the last 2 years running. So please help me welcome one of my favorite team members and leader out of the South Carolina area.
Right. Thank you, Scott, for the warm introduction. And as always, it's a pleasure to serve on this leadership team. I had the special opportunity to visit Scott last night. Yesterday was his birthday. So we drove to Chicago to wish him a happy birthday as I make my way up to Wisconsin. Let me give you a little bit more information about myself. As Scott mentioned, I have a real estate degree. However, my program focused majority on development, and I got out of school around the time of the crash. So it wasn't necessarily the best time to start developing. So I did exactly what my majority of my classmates did, and we all became analysts in various different sectors. I became a mortgage underwriter, which was an interesting perspective, seeing that I got to work with the private investor portfolio for a very large bank day in and day out. So I've seen countless real estate deals and transactions cross my desk every day. And it didn't take long for me to realize that I was quickly on the wrong side of the table, right? I needed to be the one that was putting deals together. I needed to be the one that was investing in making real estate transactions happen. So I had to seek out additional training, additional education, additional mentorship, really, so that I could feel comfortable and confident as I got involved in my market and started investing in real estate. So this morning, I'm going to be focusing on the financing of your education through Renatus, okay? I'm going to strictly talk numbers for this section. My teammate, Mike Adams, is actually going to be coming in the second section to dive in a lot more detail as far as the offerings of our education as well as the support that you'll receive as well. But in this section, I'm only going to be talking numbers, so I ask for you to stick with me. I do want to go ahead and recap the investment costs for our education prices. The Essentials course is priced at $19.97. Okay, the Advanced package is priced at $79.94, and the Extreme Combo, which is our all-inclusive package, is priced at $19.994. Okay. You've probably seen these prices from the second section. If you haven't, make sure you get in contact with the person who invited you on here to make sure you get the proper information. But I did want to make sure I recapped those prices for you. So today I'm going to focus on the top 4 funding options I've seen students use to fund their education and get going. I do want to emphasize that these are not the only funding options that are out there and available for you. In fact, I actually use a combination of different funding options to fund my education and get going as well. What I'm going to talk to you about this morning is cash and credit cards, how to utilize those to fund your education, how you can take a personal loan from your 401k and or IRA to fund your education. I'm also going to talk about a program that we have to fund our students. Now, this program guarantees 80% funding regardless of your credit score or how much money you make. And we also have programs all the way up to 100% financing. I'll get into that in just a second. And I'm also going to touch on how you can utilize a permanent insurance policy to fund your education and get going as well. Okay. So number 1, cash or credit cards. Now, this is by far the quickest way to fund your education and get going today, okay? If you're entertaining the idea of utilizing credit cards, there's credit cards options out there available. If you already have existing credit card options, there's a great opportunity for you to give those companies a call to see if they're open and willing to increasing that balance, right? The worst that they can say is no. So if you're already at a $2,000 credit balance that you have available for you, see if they're willing to double it, right? This gives you an opportunity now to leverage that that financing rather to fund your education to get going. Now, if you're looking at particularly funding your education through credit cards using new credit lines. There's opportunities out there where they offer 0% introductory rates for a period of time. So I've seen 6 months, 12 months, all the way up to 24 months, really. And that gives you a great opportunity to dive into your education, get going, and or to work with us on the marketing side to actually be able to use those funds to pay yourself back on that loan, okay? Number 2, you have an opportunity to take a personal loan from your 401k. A lot of times when we think about the 401k policy or any retirement plan, we think of that we can't touch it until we're getting ready to retire or see those golden years, right? You actually have an opportunity to take a personal loan up to half of your own 1k or max $50,000. Okay, so for example, if you have $150,000 in your retirement plan, the max that you could borrow is $50,000 because that's where they cap you off at. So in this example, if you have at least $40,000 in your 401k, you can take out $20,000 rather to fund your extreme combo and get going. Okay. As far as interest rates, you're looking at about 4.25%. But the beauty of this is here. You're paying yourself back, not a bank, not a financial institution, not a credit union, right? You're paying yourself back. So I like to look at it as a win-win situation, right? You get to utilize that money right now to fund your education and to enhance or jumpstart your business in real estate and get going. On the flip side of that, you get to grow your retirement plan by a steady 4.25 interest rate. Okay, as long as you're making those monthly payments back, you're actually growing your retirement plan by a steady 4.25%. Now, back when I was working a W-2 wage job and had a retirement plan, through a 401k policy, my retirement plan, there was months where I earned money. There was also months where I lost money, right? But in this particular situation, if you're making those monthly payments back, you're guaranteed to grow that plan by 4.25%. So this is a way for you to leverage your retirement plan. Speaking of payments, you're looking at about $371 per month. But remember, those payments are going back into your 401k. Okay, so it's no money out of pocket, and that's why it's the most popular way to fund your education and get going, because individuals love the opportunity of borrowing from that savings account that we promised ourselves we wouldn't touch. Now, there may be someone online to say, Jaleesa, I don't have a 401k. Now, here's the kicker. Stay with me. This could be yours or someone else's. Okay, so what do I mean by that? This could be your 401k that you're borrowing from or someone else's 401k that you're borrowing from. In fact, I'll let you in on a secret. A lot of the staff member online, we like the idea of investing through using other people's retirement plans, right? There's a class that we have, and Mike Adams is actually going to talk about that in the second section. So this is a way for you to raise capital out of someone else's 401k to start your business and or future projects down the line for you to also invest in real estate. Scott actually developed this link here, www.findthemoney.info. This script is helping you figure out how to raise capital, okay? So it's by simply asking for someone's opinion. A lot of times we offer our opinion on a new movie or a new restaurant to check out, right? We're offering our opinion on something. This is the same concept, but in this sense, it's for a business concept, which is the Renatus education to use to launch your real estate business, okay? So you would simply just ask for someone's opinion on this education. This is a great opportunity for you to, A, find someone that could fund your education through their retirement plan or through other resources that they have, or B, this is an opportunity for you to find a partner so that you can go through the education together, possibly split the cost or however you choose to work out that. And Mike Adams is actually going to give you more information on how you can have a tuition partner going forward. Now, there's also an IRA rollover or loan that you can borrow as well. So an IRA gives you 60 days for a rollover. Now, a penalty may incur. You do want to make sure that you want to check with your custodian before accessing this plan. And this is also a no money out of pocket situation. Okay, this is a very popular way to fund your education also. If you're using someone else's, this may be an opportunity for them to take out a loan for you, okay, if it's a genuine self-directed account, okay? So just make sure you just talk to us about the details and also talk with your plan administrator to verify all the details so that you're clear going forward using this as a funding option. Number 3, funding for your students. So this is actually a program that the FAB members put together to fund students for their education. Okay, so we have a couple different plans here, but to really jumpstart this, it requires you to fill out a funding assessment. And to access this, you can simply request a link from the staff member after this meeting who invited you on here. In a sense, they're going to walk you through all the available options for your particular situation. Now, what do I mean by that? They're going to look at your credit score. They're going to look at how much money you're bringing in, as well as other elements that they use to develop what I refer to as your financial profile. Okay, they're going to take this financial profile and now match it against the requirements of the various funding partners that we work with, in a sense to see who would fund that profile. Okay, there's individuals that will fund that profile all the way up to 100%. Okay, and when I mean fund the profile, these are various different loan products that you're able to acquire to fund your education. Okay, now if you don't qualify for any of the options within Plan A, we do have a Plan B. Okay, this is our backup option, and we already know guaranteed that they will fund 80% of your education package that you're looking at. Okay, instant approval. Okay, regardless of any credit blemishes that you have, any income deficiencies that you may be experiencing, right? Regardless of any income, any short sales, bankruptcies on your account, right? Any of that does not matter. Okay, guaranteed 80% funding. Because of their leniency on their guidelines, there is an 18% interest rate that is attached. However, I do want to tell you that there's no prepayment penalty associated with this backup option. So that means if you're getting involved with us, getting started on your education, really taking the real estate by the horns, or you're getting involved with us on the marketing side and really start helping other people make change in their life and also introducing them to real estate, it's a great opportunity to use the income that you're making from those opportunities to now pay it off and no longer have to worry about that 18%. But this is a great option for individuals who may feel like their back is against the wall as far as options that may be available for them. You would simply just put down 20% as well as a $25 application fee, and that will go ahead and jumpstart your education and get you going. Okay. The last option I have for you this morning is a permanent insurance loan that you can take from a permanent insurance policy. Okay, permanent insurance policies develop a cash value over time as you're making your monthly premiums. Okay, that means if you have a whole life, a universal life, or a variable life insurance plan, this is an opportunity for you to now call your insurance agent to figure out A, what that cash value is, and B, how much you're able to borrow against it. This is a great opportunity for you to fund your education and get going. I was working with an individual, 20 years old, right? Very open to what opportunities were available for him. He didn't even know he had a permanent insurance policy, right? But he called an insurance agent anyway, gave his information over the phone, and found out that there was a policy taken out on him as a child. Okay, 20 years later, you could probably imagine what that amount looked like, and needless to say, it was pretty easy for him to go ahead and fund his education because he was open. But that requires you to get creative, right? Start thinking outside the box. If you're willing to figure this out, if you or how to make this work for you so you can get the experience, the same results that we're getting, we're here to help. Okay, as you can see, we have well over 30 staff members online here today helping us out. They're all dedicated and committed to helping you get funded and get going. We've seen the power of this education and what it's done for ourselves, our families, our friends that have joined, right? We just want to help other people experience that same gratification that we have through the financial opportunity here in front of you. So this is an investment in yourself so you can grow your income, okay? But it's your choice. So if you're thinking, I can't afford it, you're right? You're putting your dreams on the shelf. You can't afford the dream that you've dreamed of having control over your time, having more time to spend with your family. You're doing the things that you love to enjoy, right? But if you are seeing the value and going in the direction where we're going, you're asking the questions of how I can afford it, or what do I need to do, or who do I need to know, then we have a plan that works, okay? We're willing to work with you to figure it out as well. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for any questions. If you have any questions based on the 4 funding options I presented here this morning, go ahead and take some time and chat them in. If you don't have any questions, you can simply type in Q for no questions, and we will move right on to the second section. Right, Millie Lee, Dorothea, Nicholas, Emily, Kayla, Cole, appreciate your responses. Romeo, I love that. Dorian, got it. All right, Anton, I don't have a staff member that has been in touch with me. So who do I contact about funding profiles? Okay, Anton, so who invited you to this webinar? How did you get the link for this particular meeting? I see you're typing in, but the individual who gave you the link to access this meeting or the previous meetings, okay, I went back to the follow-up website and got the link from there. Got it. Okay, Anton, we have a couple administrative staff online, so we're going to see who actually is working with you on our end to see if we can get you connected with that staff member to help you along, okay? So, as Scott mentioned, stay tuned. Joseph, how quickly can one start advertising? Great question, Joseph. You can actually start today, okay? And Scott's going to give you a lot more information and detail in the third and final section of this presentation today. Chloe, so do I have to invest any money at all? So what you're investing in would be either on the business side of running a marketing business or the education side of where you have the opportunity now to take advantage of learning how to invest in real estate and leverage that. Okay. Let's see. Anton. No. Breon. Wait. I do got a question. I'm with Chloe. Do I have to invest money to get started? Okay. So Breon and Chloe, I do want to make sure, is this your first meeting that you're on or second meeting? Is this your third meeting that you're seeing? Third, okay. Great, Chloe. I want to just make sure that you've gotten all the information and pieces that you needed to actually get on this webinar with us. Okay, and Chloe, Scott is asking, what meeting did you start with? Was it the 15-minute briefing? Was it the intro meeting? And while they're chatting that in, Joseph, so does one have to pay up front to start advertising? So, Joseph, that's a marketing question that Scott's going to answer in the third and final section, so stay tuned for that. Could I get a student loan to cover costs? Okay, so Lee, a student loan in the sense of going through the FAFSA route, right, isn't necessarily available because of the marketing opportunity that Scott is going to cover in the third and final section. Okay, the opportunities that we do have available for financing are through our funds program. So to access that, you would simply just request the funding assessment from the staff member that you're working with, and they can help figure out all the opportunities available for you to get going on that aspect. "25 minutes and an hour-long one." I thought training for a job was free. Ah, that's the difference right there, Chloe. So this isn't necessarily a job. And I'm actually going to let Scott handle that because it seems like he has something to say on that one.
So let me get this straight. You think a job is free. You totally missed the second meeting. The second meeting was about how much you pay to have a job. Your first 2 hours, you get ready and get in traffic, you're spending money. The first 4 hours at your job, you're actually giving it to your government, right? The first 4 hours, so 50%. Then you go to lunch and spend more money. And then your last part of your job, you make money for yourself. And then you got to travel home, which is spending money. So, you know, this is a mindset shift. It was a mindset shift for me, right? We are looking for people that want to do work, but I don't want you to ever have a job again because you're getting raked over the coals in taxes as being a W-2 employee signed up with your Social Security number for income, right? There's a whole different world out there of how people actually make money, and I learned how to do that through the education and interaction with this group, right? So my income tax is at about 7.5% in income tax. Yours is at 33%. Do you want to change that? Do you like giving 33% of your money to the government? If you do, this is going to not be for you. You're probably going to want to stay an employee the rest of your life, right? So we're not looking for people that want to remain employees. We want to break them out of that so they can start getting abundance in their life. And they can, you know, work from the beach or work from Starbucks, that kind of stuff. So this is not a job, folks. Let me keep that in mind, right? I'm going to cover what you're asking, Chloe, at the end of this thing. You're preempting my my part of the meeting. So, all All right.
I think we've exhausted our finance questions, so I appreciate everyone's time this morning and turn it back over to you, Scott.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you, G. Good job. All right, so here's what you're going to do next. So for the folks that are like, well, what do I do? I don't have a staffer. Somebody's attached to you. Somebody got you here. You got here somehow. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm going to show you what to do next. If for some reason you are only here for financing the education, Chloe, and that's all you came here for, so you can do some real estate with us. And a lot of people ask me, is this about marketing or about real estate? Well, you're in a marketing funnel right now. So everything you've seen so far has been about getting you information to make an intelligent decision on when you want to start or not, right? After that is all training. In fact, tomorrow morning for an hour and a half, we have nothing but training for you to get started. So you can start making money next week if you're interested on the enrolling side. But keep in mind, my wife and I have 95 single-family homes and 4 multi-unit buildings with 40 units in them. So we do real estate. And one of the other things we do is we help you do real estate by getting you funds for real estate. So hang tight. So here's what you're going to do next. If for some reason you're just here for funds and you're ready to go, no problem, then you're going to go to QAform.com, right? Your QAform.com. You're going to let us know on this Q&A form, and trust me, there's somebody attached to you, whoever said, oh, I don't have a staffer, you do. There's no way to get here if you hadn't known about that first meeting. Okay, somebody told you about that. Okay, so QAform.com will help us get you that person and get you help. So you're going to say this: hey, I'm interested in doing real estate with this group at Q&A form. When you go to QAform.com, I'm interested in doing real estate with this group, because at this point that could be the only thing you're interested in doing. If you're interested in making money next week from the company, then you're going to stay on the line. But if you leave us right now, it's only because you're interested in real estate. It's fine. I'm interested. You already knew what you wanted to get as far as education before you got here, because we haven't answered those questions yet today. So 52% of us get the extreme combo, 10% of us get the advanced, and 22% of us have the essentials. Okay, so you already know what you want to get. In my case, I got the extreme combo. And then you already know how to fund this thing. Now, keep in mind, I didn't have any money. I was dead broke. I could not go to my checking account and get any money for this education. But 5 days later, I had an extreme combo with $20,000 because of some of the funding options that you saw. You may want to go to findthemoney.info to help me teach you how to do that. Right? Findthemoney.info. We've been flashing that for a while. There's 3 stories of students that were completely broke that got the money because of what I helped them do. Okay, so using cash or credit, you know that. However you're going to fund it, you're going to let us know how you plan on doing that. And then you're going to let us know what time is best to contact you. We're not here to sell you anything. In fact, I teach my team, please don't sell somebody, because we might end up with the wrong person that's going to be a complainer. We're not looking for broke-minded people. We're looking for people that are ready to shed their past life and move on to a new trajectory, right? Everybody on the webinar here today, including myself and Julissa, we have a trajectory to 65, right? And that's the retirement age, right? How's yours looking? Because mine was down here. Mine was like living with my parents or state run. I was going to be getting, Section 8 at 65 if I didn't do something about my life. And I'd come off of a mountain, man. So my trajectory was much different when I saw this stuff than what I am today. Does that make sense? So you have a chance. Now, our job is just to help you out, not to sell you. So this is like a menu. You're going to fill this out. Let us know what time to contact you. We're going to collect that menu, send it to the kitchen, and start cooking up your food. That's what's going to happen. Cool? So your job, if you're going to get started with us at all, is to go to QAform.com, write that down, and then if you're here just for funding. Now, we're about to go over real estate stuff. All right, the real estate education. I want to introduce you to this. Now, I do own a company, along with some superstars on my team around the country, called the Practicum Group. And the Practicum Group is willing to help you wholesale properties. We're willing to get you funds. We can get you 90% of acquisition and rehab with a 580 credit score. We can get you 100% of rehab funds if you want to partner with us. Cool. So this is the kind of stuff. But you will not get a dime if you don't know what you're doing. And the only thing that our lenders subscribe to, so the lenders have seen our education, the ones that we work with, and are like, so you're telling us that your students are going to have this education, the same one you guys got, to put this whole infrastructure together. Yep. Okay, great. Then that's another level of underwriting. We'll bring down the credit scores to 580. So it's really imperative that you know what you're doing before you screw it up, right? It's very risky. So Mike will go over this. If you want to work with the Practicum group, you've got to test out a certain amount of education before we can actually lend to you. Okay. We can also move notes for you and to you if you're interested in that. All right. Now, I want to show you something. As of right now, I have 212 students, no, sorry, 2,012 students all over the country, and that's in the last 4 years, right? I was just running some numbers on this follow-up here. We have 34 guests on the line that are checking this thing out. If we've doubled that for next, we do another one on Monday. So if all year long, based on the numbers on this follow-up, we have about 3,500 people a year that will check us out. We start about 500 of people a year. That's how successful we are with this program. And most of them are broke like I was. So if you go to findthemoney.info, you're going to find some ways to get into this education without having money. Cool. All right. I am now going to go over and hand it over to my man, Mike Adams. Where's my camera? Oh, man, you guys haven't been seeing me. Okay, so I'm going to hand over the reins to Mike Adams. I'm going to stop sharing for you, Mike. You can grab your PowerPoint. Now, listen, Mike Adams, when he came down to see us, he was actually an executive, an advertising executive, and he was making over 6 figures when he saw us. He is a veteran, so thank you for your service there, Mike. I appreciate it. And you know, the problem was his time as an executive, and I can attest to this. You know, I would get to the office at 6:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't leave sometimes till 10 p.m. at night. That's how my job went because I was an executive. They expected me to make sure the ship was run in the beginning, and then when I put it to bed, it was secured. So he went through the same kind of thing as an ad exec. So he's like, you know, this is crazy, giving my life away to a company. So he started with us, and within 7 months, he was able to quit that job. So please help me welcome to go over the education with your Q&A, Mr. Mike Adams. Out of St. Maul. Also award-winning. All right, I'm done.
Awesome. All right, thank you, Scott. And good morning, everybody. And Scott's absolutely right. You know, I was in advertising and marketing for over 15 years. And, you know, just to kind of touch on the tax talk, I was earning well over 6 figures every single year, but the bottom line is I definitely didn't bring 6 figures home. Every week I was paying over $500 a week in taxes. You're ordering food every single day, you're taking out employees to lunch and things like that, and you're paying taxes on everything. So the whole point of kind of what you guys are seeing here is, you know, to kind of give you guys a different way of viewing the world. For me, you know, I just kind of thought that's the way it was. You know, that Uncle Sam showed up at my HR and took a third of my check right off the top. I just thought that's the way it was, and I thought that's how everybody paid taxes. And so what I've learned, you know, through this education is that there's many other ways to keep more of the money that you earn. So we're going to break this down. So we're going to go, my job this morning is going to be to cover all the education. So I'm going to cover all the different packages, all the different classes that are available. And then afterward, we'll open it up for some Q&A, and we'll continue this tax talk. This is really important, especially for you guys that have been purely W-2 employees like I was. There is a better way. So let's crack into this here. The first education package is the Essentials course, and there's your price tag on the Essentials, $19.97. And really, the Essentials is our foundations course, so it's really for anybody who wants to start their own small business, whether it's in real estate or not. If you want to open up a gym, you want to open up a nail salon, something like that, there's still plenty of these classes that will be very applicable to helping you with that goal. With the Essentials, you get the curriculum for a 12-month redemption period, and that is for you and a tuition partner. So this is the price. But if you do have a friend or a family member or a business partner or perhaps another W-2 employee who hates their job as well and would like to do this with you, they could take these classes with you, and this price stays the same. In the Essentials, you get 9 7-hour classes for 63 hours of study. And you also get access to weekly group coaching from Renatus, an hour a week. So 115 hours of education for this price tag, and it breaks down into about $17.35 per hour. So very good value. Now, and let's see here. Scott, I think your mic is still on, if you can hear me. But in the essentials, you get, just like it says on the screen, 9 powerful classes. These are all contained in the essentials curriculum. And each of our education products does have a 7-day right of rescission, meaning you could sign up for the essentials today, and you have 7 days in which to change your mind and get your money back. At the end of the 7-day rescission period, all of your classes will be activated. So since we're talking taxes today, the good news for you guys is that during your rescission period, the very first class that opens up for you is Tax and Legal Strategies Day 1 with this guy, Mark Kohler. So Mark Kohler is an author, he's a lawyer, he's an accountant, he's a real estate investor, and he really digs deep into entity setup and structuring, right? And really showing you how to maximize your deductions as a small business owner in order to keep more of the money that you earn. And again, guys, for me, being an ex-military grunt and W-2 employee, this is just something I had no clue about. I grew up in a family where it was hard work, exchange hours for dollars. The only way you can really make more money is to work more hours. And, once you're at that 70 plus hours a week, how many more hours can you really put in? So this class right here was, for me, one of the biggest eye-openers to how you can reposition yourself in the tax matrix and, again, keep more of the money that you earn. So you'll have access to this class during your 7-day right of rescission. The rest of the essentials, and you actually get 2 days with Mark. But the rest of the essentials is really designed to help you build a strong foundation for your real estate business. You got Real Estate Essentials, which is kind of like Real Estate 101. Real Estate Red Flags, Real Estate and Retirement Plans. And, as you've learned today, a lot of people don't know that you can actually invest using your retirement account. And these funds can be used for business startup expenses, for real estate, or to fund this education, as Jaleesa covered in the last section. Real Estate Red Flags teaches you things to watch out for while you are evaluating property. Creative Acquisitions. Most people think the only way you can buy a house is to go to a bank, get a mortgage, work with a real estate agent, pay a bunch of fees, and then buy a house. So there's many other ways to actually control the property. So you'll learn about that in Creative Acquisitions. Finding the Deal of the Decade, that works with probate and teaching you how to find those home run deals. I'm not sure why my slide keeps jumping on me. Sorry, guys. Okay. Real estate marketing. And I can tell you right now, you can have the best products or services out there, but if you don't have, or if you don't know how to put the right product in front of the right audience, you're not going to make any money. So the marketing aspect of real estate is very, very important. All right, we're going to get through this slide. And credit management. It is true that you don't necessarily need good credit in order to invest in real estate, but it's definitely important to understand credit and learn how to drive that personal credit score up. So very important. If you have better credit, there'll be more lenders that'll be willing to help finance and fund some of your deals. So very important there. So all of these classes, this is all in the essentials, guys. Okay. So I'm not sure if somebody else on the staff is maybe hitting a button, but my slides keep jumping. So, or maybe I'm just going crazy. I don't know. Maybe it was a late night with the twins last night. I'm not sure. But either way, this is a snapshot of what the classes look like in your back office. And the great thing about this, and what really worked for me, is that the classes are based on the University of Phoenix model for on-demand learning. So the classes are made available to you 24/7 online. So they're all pre-recorded and available for you. So it's very flexible. I was working very long hours at the beginning of this, and plus with my twins, sleep was at a premium. So I had to take my classes in education when I could. And sometimes I'd be up at 11 o'clock at night going through a class. So you'll have that same kind of access. And you can take the classes however it's best for you. So looking at Creative Acquisitions here, all these different icons, If I click this icon for the headset, it'll actually download the entire class as MP3. So if you want to burn it onto a CD or download it onto your phone, listen to it on the treadmill, you can do that. The workbook here at there's a downloadable PDF workbook that corresponds with the class. And these instructors, you know, they're on stage, they're going over slides and writing out examples and equations, and you'll get access to those slides as well in the workbook. And then you also do get the play button, which will actually play the recorded webinar of the class. So you can have it however it works best for you. Here's a snapshot of what it looks like online when you're looking at the class. So here we go. We got Mark Kohler here, and this is the class is Tax and Legal Day 1, segment number 9, all about equity stripping. And this thing right here, okay, they call it an Elmo, and for us old schoolers, overhead projector or parentheses, right? And what it's doing is it's showing you what's on his table right over here. So Mark's going to be there. He's going to be writing on this, equations, different scenarios. And so that way you can kind of keep up and see exactly what he's doing as if you're in the class. And now, see how it says segment 9? So if I click right here, it's actually going to bring up an entire list of all the different segments that are in this class. So, it's not just one big, 7-hour recording. You can test out on this class, and let's say now you're working on a real estate deal and you have a question specifically about equity stripping. You can come back to this class, open up this exact segment, and go over this exact information again. So very user-friendly, very easy to navigate. A little bit about the group coaching. Each week, one of the instructors will host an online webinar, and they'll talk about whichever topic the college wants them to talk about that week. They'll open up the webinar for any questions on that topic. But then they as well will open up the webinar for any questions that are real estate or education related. So if you have questions about the classes, you can get them answered there. And also if you're working on your own particular deal, you'll have access to one of the instructors, so they could definitely offer some advice and assistance for your particular deal. Okay, so that's your essentials package there. Now we're going to talk about the AIT, and this is where you talk about your various exit strategies. You found the deal, you funded the deal, now how do you get out of this deal, okay? And the easiest way for me to describe this, being an ex-military guy, your 100 and 200 level classes, they would be called like your generals, and if you're into a university, kind of like your general classes. For military, it's kind of like basic training. This is where we teach you how to march, how to straighten out your wall locker, how to fire your M16, right? But then it's time to go into one of your majors. Or for us in the military, it was what's going to be your MOS. And for me, I was a 12 Bravo. I was a combat engineer, so I dealt with landmines and explosives, ordnance. So that was my job. And I definitely needed specific training for that job, right, that I did not get in basic training. So that's kind of what the AIT tracks are here, specializing on certain exit strategy niches. So there's 6 of them that we're going to cover. So the first niche strategy is the fix and flip. So if you're here and you're interested in rehabbing houses and then selling them for a profit, this would be the right track for you. And within this track, you get classes that are dedicated purely to this niche to help you understand and help you get very good at it. So within this track, you got Fix and Flip Day 1 and 2. You get a class on market analysis, foreclosures, how to work with private and hard money, auctions, wholesaling, and then also understanding mortgages. And your head instructors in this one are Kendall Stock and Darren Davis. Done a lot of deals, 150 deals in the last couple of years, using none of their own money or credit. So fantastic and practitioner instructors. So lease options, if you're interested in rentals or buy and hold, you get Cowboy Chris. And within this track, you get lease options, you get market analysis, foreclosures, buy and hold day 1, which is managing property managers, buy and hold day 2, which is landlording, subject to purchases, also understanding mortgages. Track 3, this is where you get into your short sales. Wait, did I miss one, Scott?
Your slide before that. Go back a slide. Go back for just a second, really quick here. I just want everybody to understand something. For some reason, back again. Go back to your, where you have all the numbers in the tracks. You have 7 classes when it's actually 8 and 8 here.
Here and here.
Yeah. There's actually, yeah. There's 6 here too. I think you're missing a class in each one of these things here. Just so you know to change it.
Yeah. I'll adjust the slides for next week.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. And you can just get back in touch with the staffer that referred you to this webinar after we're done today, and they can let you know which class I was missing on the slide here. Okay, so short sales. If you're someone who wants to specialize working with short sales, this would be your track. We got short sales day 1 and 2, class on private and hard money. We got foreclosures, we got auctions, market analysis, and also understanding mortgages. Track 4, this is where you're going to get into your multifamily tracks with Johnny D. And, very important that they have a separate track for this. The way that you evaluate property is completely different when you're talking about multifamily versus like a single family house. When you're looking at single family homes, you're really just looking for comparables, or what can I compare this house to determine a value. When it comes to multifamily, that's where you're more looking at the income performance or the financial performance of the building in order to come up with a valuation. So a completely different process there. So a whole separate track all dedicated to multifamily. You got multifamily day 1 and 2, market analysis, private and hard money, understanding mortgages, and then also investment property management. Track 5 here, this is where you get into your notes, tax deeds, and liens. And notes are pretty cool. This is where you can become the bank. There's a lot of people out there that want to invest in real estate but have no interest at all in dealing with tenants and fixing toilets. Nor do they want to swing a hammer and lay down flooring. They simply want to earn interest on using their money to carry a note or deed. So if that sounds like you, this would be your track. You get seller finance notes day 1 and 2, tax deeds and liens with Melissa. And this is our head coach over at Renatus. So she's the one who hosts the weekly group coaching call. This is someone who's been in real estate for well over 20 years, has over 450 rental properties. You'll have access to her once a week to assist you with your business. Market analysis, understanding mortgages, and then also private and hard money. The newest track that they've put out, this came out earlier this year, is all about commercial real estate investing with Christian George. And commercial, this is where you're talking about your strip malls, large office buildings, or really anything residential that's over 4 units. So 5 units and up would be considered residential commercial. So within here, you got intro to commercial real estate analysis, commercial real estate leases, commercial lending, and also purchasing commercial real estate. So those are all the main tracks, and we also do have a bonus track, and this bonus track is only available to those that get the extreme tuition. So very advanced, high-level classes. These are kind of like Lucy's, right? These didn't necessarily fit into any of the specific niches, but very advanced, high-level classes here. Real estate sales success, financial strategies, an entire day of title, escrow, and closing, raising money and working with partnerships, an entire class of understanding bankruptcy, negotiations. This class here is taught by the CEO of Renatus, Bob Snyder, and 93% of communication is nonverbal. So he's teaching you how to read body language in a negotiation and actually how to break down sentences into mathematical equations. So very, very cool class. And then also understanding your investor ID really just helps you mentally, dig deep to determine who you want to be as a real estate investor. If you're someone who wants to increase your income sheet, you may look at, flipping houses or wholesaling. If you're looking to better your balance sheet, that's where you look at buy and hold or multifamily and rentals. So it helps you determine who you want to be based on your particular goals. So that's your bonus track there. So that's all the classes and all the tracks. Now, which of the classes you're going to take is going to be determined by which tier of AIT education you choose to go with. So to be clear, there's really two products here. There's our Essentials curriculum, and then there's the AIT curriculum. And there's two levels of AIT. This first level here, this is our advanced program. And so there's your price tag right there, $5,997. And you get access to the advanced for 12 months for you and a tuition partner if you choose to bring one on. With the advanced, you get to choose 2 of the AIT tracks. So you can choose whichever 2 you want. You get access to the weekly group coaching from Renatus. And you will also get access to our community study groups, which I haven't talked about yet, but I'll touch on here in a few slides. And I will also state, you guys saw some information about the practicum group right before I came up here. And this program right here, the advanced program, this would be the minimum requirement on the education in order to get access to the capital that they have access to. And with the advanced, you would want to take your lease options track and also your fix and flip track. Okay, so this is your minimum requirement right here, along with the essentials, if you want to have access to the practicum group's resources. Now, the second level of AIT education is the Extreme Plus. This is one that I have, that Scott has, that Jaleesa has, and most of the staffers on the line, I believe 52% of us have, is the Extreme Plus. So there's your price tag on that. Again, 12-month redemption period for you and a tuition partner. But here's the biggest value with this one. You do get complimentary lifetime access. So let me touch on that again, but you do get access to all of the tracks. So you get all 6 vocational tracks. You do get the bonus track with those high-level classes, and they actually add to that quite often. So you'll get those continued classes. From the college, you do get one additional form of coaching. You do get access to a one-on-one coach from Renatus. So you'll be able to set up 6 sessions with your coach, and it's one of the instructors. And you could use them however you want. So if you want to set up 6 sessions as a tutor to help you with your education, go ahead. Or if you want to go ahead and test out on some of your education, you could set up your 6 sessions around doing that first deal and getting that additional hand-holding from one of the instructors. You will get access to the study groups. But here's the biggest deal here with the Extreme. Any new classes or tracks or updates that come out, you're going to automatically get those updates for free. So here's an example of that. We just talked about the commercial track here. So this track just came out on January 1st. So when I woke up on the 1st of the year and I logged into my back office and looked at my classes, they automatically uploaded that entire track to my curriculum because I already owned the Extreme Tuition. So they are constantly looking at this education to make sure that it is current, to make sure that it is relevant. Next year we're having elections, obviously, so there'll be a new president, there'll be different lawmakers, and certainly some things may change as far as regulations go that affect our business. And so if they see that they need to re-record or retape one of their classes, they'll do it. And if it's a part of your curriculum, you will automatically get those updates. In regards to the bonus track, they're adding new classes to that all the time. We have a couple of really good classes coming up. One about raw land development that's going to be made available. Also a mortgage reduction class, teaching you how to accelerate those mortgages and pay them off much quicker. So they're constantly adding new classes to that, and if you have the Extreme Plus, you will get those continued updates and access to those new classes for free. Okay, and I'm going to kind of pick up the pace here as we finish this off. This is just a little bit more about the help that's available. On the left-hand side, you see what's available through the college itself. So you have access to your weekly group coaching. It's an online webinar. One-on-one coaching with the Extreme. Live classes. The campus is out there in Salt Lake City, Utah. So if you ever want to go see the mountains, you can fly out there. We do get a schedule whenever they are recording new classes. And we also do simulcast the live classes online. So if you're not able to travel, you can watch it from home. On the right-hand side, this is where you start talking about the additional help and support that you get for being on this team. So on the left, that's what you get from the college, but that's not where it stops. This is a snapshot, the monthly workshops. That's a snapshot of Scott's office there in Chicago. And speaking of mortgage acceleration, they got Tony Scotti, one of our leaders out of Hawaii, actually going to be there this weekend doing a workshop all about mortgage acceleration and how to pay off that mortgage and pay less interest. Incredible strategies, and he'll be there for 2 days talking about that. They had Kendall Stock, the fix and flip instructor, I believe it was 2 months ago now. He went there. And so he's done all these flips without using any of his own money or credit. So he did a 2-day workshop on how he raises private capital for his deals. So these workshops are an incredible resource for you to get more training. Also the weekly study groups. So this is a picture of our essential study group. And these are basically students that are going to be going through the education as well. And it's an open discussion group. So you have a facilitator up front here kind of leading the class. And so basically they're covering one of the classes of the education and kind of taking it section by section and opening up the floor for questions about the education. Now, this is obviously in Chicago, right? So some of you guys are thinking, well, wait a second, Mike, that sounds great, but what about me? I'm not in Chicago. Well, you're taken care of. Because the same webinar platform that we're using today, Adobe Connect, we use this platform to simulcast the workshops and the study groups. So if you're on this webinar today, you can access these 2 additional forms of help. Also, we do have daily webinars and calls. Our group meets via webinar 20 plus times a week for various trainings, whether it's marketing related, real estate related, student testimonials, coaching calls, training calls. So, as far as help and support, there is no lack of help and support with this team. So let's wrap it up here. So what's the big difference? What's the education difference? We do cover all types of real estate investing strategies, not just one niche or just the fix and flips that you see on TV. This curriculum teaches the business side of real estate investing. And for me, being an ex-military grunt and W-2 employee, I had no clue that I could actually pay less in taxes. So, the program was fantastic and showing you how to minimize your tax liabilities and, again, keep more of the money that you earn. Our program, it is the most affordable and current when you compare it to the gurus. And I just gotta touch it for a second. The gurus, and who am I talking about? These are the Armando Montalongos of the world, the fortune builders, Donald Trump, Carlton Sheets, Dean Graciasi, all these gurus. And these are the people that fly to your town, this weekend, and, you get these tickets in the mail or you see them on Facebook or they're all of a sudden commercials, late night TV. And, they're like, come on down. I'm going to teach you all my secrets in a 2-day boot camp. Come on down here. It's free. And once they get you down there to their seminar, that's when this starts. That's when they start kind of cranking your arm a little bit, putting the high pressure squeeze, almost like you're at a timeshare presentation to try to get you to buy today. And let's say you go for it. Let's say you're like, okay, gurus, I will buy your course. So you pay them a bunch of money. And now you have these books and these tapes and you're lost. And you're like, okay, I need help. You call the guru and they say, great, well, you can pay me more money for our toll-free 800 number to get coaching. And here's a little dirty little secret about some of these gurus. I've actually ran large call centers here in Minnesota. And a lot of these 800 numbers go to a call center. And your coach is actually a script reading telemarketer. And someone who I used to pay $8 or $9 an hour to sit on the phone and read a script, that ends up being your mentor. So by now, hopefully you've seen that is not our business model. Okay, we talked about our help and support. So commonly asked questions, guys. Can I start with the essentials and then purchase an AIT package later? Yes, you can. Can I upgrade within my initial 12-month redemption period from the Advanced AIT to the Extreme Combo? Yes, you can. And again, there's two products. There's the Essentials and the AIT, two levels of AIT. So if you start with the first level of AIT and want to upgrade to the highest level within your first year, you would just pay the difference, but there is also a service fee for the upgrade there of $750. Do I receive real estate contracts and documents to use? Yes. With any AIT program, you'll get an entire real estate forms portfolio. You'll have your attorney tweak them for your state. You'll be good to go. And, we touched on this, but our community meets constantly. So, if you're someone who likes training and likes to plug in and likes to stay connected, there'll be plenty of opportunities for you to do that. Mentors who will answer your questions, and a community to lean on for support. And also right here, guys, no upselling. So this is your decision. And so you're gonna choose where you want to start, and no one's gonna tell you that you have to do anything else. It's also the only Earn As You Learn program that's out there. Scott will cover that in the third section. All right, so we made it. So that's the end of the education PowerPoint. So if you guys do have any questions for me, go ahead and type them into the chat line. If you don't have any questions, go ahead and type in NQ, and we will move on to the next section. All right, well, at least Nicholas stayed with me. Was I that boring this morning? All right, we'll give it a minute here. I see multiple attendees are typing. Now, either everybody's typing me a book or I'm lagging. Okay, there we go. Boom, all of a sudden there's a bunch up there. Okay, let's see. So, Anton, does the education provide any sort of accreditation or certificate? No. So this is not a degree program, so you're not going to get a degree in real estate investing, nor are you going to get a certificate or anything like that. Certificates and degrees, those are to get you a job, right? And just like Scott said, we're trying to, this is a way for you to work, but we don't want you to ever have a W-2 job again. So this is pure business training that's going to help you excel in business. So, John, I'm a 100% disabled veteran, and I need 100% financing. Is that possible? Yes. Get back in touch with the staffer that referred you to this webinar, and they can help you get a funding assessment where you could potentially get 100% financing. Or you can also get the link for the findthemoney.info that Jaleesa talked about in the last section. So, and you can take a look at that training and see if that helps you with some additional creative ideas. Teresa, no questions, but thank you for your service. We are Marines. Right. Touche. So, Dorian, so how is it that you earn as you learn? Scott's going to cover that in the next section, so stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. It's very impressive. So, Joseph, which courses have the shortest time between investment and return? It's purely, as far as the time it takes for you to get through the education, guys, it really just depends on you, right? If we're talking about the Essentials course, 7 classes, 7 9-hour or 9 7-hour classes. So if let's say you didn't have a job, you're not going to school, you don't have any kids, you could literally hammer through these classes, very quickly. But again, if you're someone like me, I took a slower route through the education because I was working 70 plus hours a week and had a set of twins. So, it really, as far as like when you're going to see a return, that depends on how fast you can get through this curriculum. Scott was doing deals within 3 months. So, but again, that's Scott. People could go through the education faster than that. So that depends on you, Joseph. Angela, is it possible to get 100% financing and work with you guys throughout the process to pay off the financing for the Extreme package? Yes and yes. Yep, yes and yes. All right. Well, it looks like we've exhausted all of the education questions. So I appreciate your guys' time being on this training today. And again, guys, just remember this is not the end. So make sure to get back in touch with your staffer, the person that referred you to this webinar. If you do have any additional questions, they can get you on the phone and perhaps bring in one of their mentors to answer your questions as well to make sure you're taken care of. Otherwise, have a great day, everyone. Scott, it's all yours.
Thank you. Good job, buddy. Okay, so the next step for anybody that's on the line with us today that's now just here for real estate investing, which is fine. We don't mind you guys all being real estate investors. We got lots of resources to help you do it. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to Q&A form, Q&Aform.com. You'll fill this out again so that the appropriate staffer can take care of you. You're interested in doing real estate with this group. That's the only thing you could be interested in right now because I haven't covered the Earn As You Learn program next, which will be next. Now, based on what Mike went over, you can be like, yeah, all right, I want an extreme combo like 52% of us have, or I want an advanced combination, which is the 2 tracks, right? Like 10% of us have, or I want an essentials. I want to start with an essentials like 22% of, or sorry, 22% start with. 52, 10, 22 is what the numbers are. All right, then you're going to let us know how you plan on funding it. You can click off multiple ideas here. Let us know what time to contact you so we're not interrupting family time, dinner time, whatever time. Let us know what time zone you're in so we don't screw that up either. And then you're going to hit the submit button so that we can get back in touch with you and then help you out, right? Okay. With the Practicum group, once again, Mike said it. If you can get through you got to get through your essentials, your fix and flip classes, and your buy and hold classes, which is lease options. So you've got to get through these 3 different curriculums, and then you're ready to go. We will then put you through a 4-week deal workbook training. It's not cost anything. We just want to make sure we teach you how to put a deal workbook together. It's not any special software. It's Excel spreadsheet. We stayed away from special software because sometimes a bank can't read, right? They can read an Excel sheet, but they don't have your special software. So we made it very simple. We put together, we teach you how to do this in 4 weeks. We actually go out and find deals, put them in the deal workbook. Some people actually get them done. So we'll do that for 4 weeks online with you. And then every single Wednesday, the Practicum group, for anybody that's actually tested out and then gone through deal workbook training, can get on the line every Wednesday and actually have the deals that they're doing analyzed and helped out from the team at the Practicum group. All right. So but it's not Renatus, right? The Practicum group is not Renatus. There is a huge wall between the two. Renatus is just the education company. Practicum group is the company that we do real estate with all over the country with our students, right? That's my company. Renatus is not my company. Practicum group is. All right. We can also do notes. We can buy notes or sell notes for you through the Practicum group. All right. Okay. Now I am going to cover the last portion of this is the Earn As You Learn program. All right. I'll show you this again. Once again, if you're interested, I've made $1.1 million in the last 4 years. $95,000 in the last 10 weeks, just helping people out. I currently have, where's that sheet at? Currently have, we have started 2,012 people in the last 4 years with this education. Okay, so the key to this whole thing is, we are helping folks around the country do real estate. We're opening up new buildings around those people that we start off in a city that we're not in, and pretty soon we have a community there, and we need a community center there. So this is exactly what we're doing around the country with these webinars. It's working out great. We have 10 buildings around the country today. But let's talk about how that works, because people get paid to do that kind of stuff, and you could start getting paid this week to do that kind of stuff as well. All right, I'm going to, I can't see, I don't see, oh, there it is. Okay, now, let me just shift my whiteboard here. Here we go. All right. And listen, if you are not interested, if you are absolutely not interested in, hold on a second. I'm looking for this information here. Hold on a second. Hey, Donna, did you shift off the engagement? Because I had it on. Sorry. How come it's not working? I wonder. Huh, interesting. Okay, so it was working. Okay, no matter for you. All right, so before we go over the making money with this program, the last thing I want to hear after this webinar or even in the chat line is this. So it's just about selling education. It is not. I came down for real estate investing, and today I have 95 single-family homes. Okay, we bought 79 properties from a bank in a portfolio on a PPM, a private placement memorandum, by selling unit shares off. All learned at the education company. Right, my little boys, my 5-year-old, my 10-year-old, have 135 properties as well that pay them rent. So they don't do marketing, but they collect rents. Right, so we have gone over real estate investing the whole time here. The 15-minute briefing was about finding real estate investors. The 90-minute meeting was mostly about the 4 levels of real estate investing and the currencies, right? And then today we go over real estate, we go over funding the education, over the education for real estate, and then next is the marketing side. So if you're not interested in making $1,000 and $10,000 twice a week, not interested in that at all, it would be time to get off the webinar. Does that make sense? If for some reason you're offended by that, by making money, I can't help you, right? I'm just going to show you how we do it and what we're going to assist you in doing. All right. With that being said, let's get started. Let me get my tablet out. All right, forgot to get that out. So let me grab my tablet and we'll help you guys understand. Now, I think it's important that you guys understand what you have to do, the work you have to do in order to work with us, right? So if you can't handle the work, you shouldn't do the work. Is that right? You guys agree with me? So let me cover what you guys have to do first, and then you can determine, well, I can handle that. How do I get paid? All right, that's what we're going to go over first. Okay, so in our systems here, we have lead generation. So, you know, when I started with this group and they told me, hey, we're going to pay you $1,000 to $10,000 for referrals. So if you know any friends or family that would like to do real estate with you, or they get interested in what you're making on checks on your fix and flips, you can then just invite them down here. We'll do the meeting, and then you can go talk to them at their house and see what they want to do. And I'm like, wait, let me get this straight. This is what I said to the person that was running the meeting. I'm like, let me get this straight. Are you telling me that if I just invite somebody to this meeting and they decide to get into this program, you're going to give me half of all your infrastructure? Like, I didn't put the campus up. I didn't put the servers in the basement. I didn't hire the instructors. I don't pay them. But you're going to give me half of everything you guys collect. And they're like, yep. And I'm like, is there a limit? They're like, nope. So I could put an ad out there and become a distribution company for your education, and you're just going to pay me like crazy. And they're like, yep. And I looked at my wife and I said, we don't ever need a job again. It's done. We don't ever need a job. That's the minute I saw that, I never needed a job again. So because I understood that the education's awesome. The presentation was awesome. I'm like, all right, I'm in. All right, and I just got to invite people down here so they can get in. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to teach you lead generation. We've got 130 ways to lead generate, and we train that up. We actually have a document on that. You can pick 7 ways and go crazy. Here's a question for you guys. Could you guys write a Craigslist ad today? Could you put an ad on Craigslist and then have leads by over the weekend? That's a question for everybody. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so Jeff and Danita can. Angela can. Cole Wenzel can. Everything can. Okay. Hey, Don, are you with me right now? Can you hear me? For some reason, I'm checking. I went to put show individual engagement, and it's not showing up anymore. I was actually disappointed that it disappeared. Did you take that off? You're not Donna. Donna. Oh, you're at today, Michael. Okay, so if you can put a Craigslist ad out there, here, if you guys are like, what's a Craigslist ad? All right, let me dumb it down just a little bit further. Do you see this card right here? Look, real estate investor seeks apprentice. If you're interested in making $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month while you learn what you do and help us do it, please text your name. All right, so this card right here, please pay attention. I make 6 figures because of this card. Now, I do have a Lamborghini. In fact, the weather here is good enough, so I'm going to show you the car. Give me a second. Let me just change it. I'll show you. Let me show you. So when I drive this car and I pull into a parking lot or a gas station, right, you see the car out there? So there's the Lamborghini with the words on the back, you know, make $20,000 a month with me, text Lambo, right? So that's that's actually in the office right now. Okay, so when I pull into a gas station with that car, how many and people see it? I always get somebody that says, "So how do I make 20 grand a month with you?" Now here's what I don't do. I don't pull out a laptop and start selling stuff over the car. That's not how we do business here. Okay. What I do is I say, hey, let's just exchange information, and then I'll put you in the meeting, and you can meet my partners, you can meet the players in our business, and then we can find out if it's for you or not. Fair enough, and we just exchange information. But when I leave the gas station and you pull up after I'm gone, you don't see the car. So here's what I did. I created this card right here that I can actually stick into the credit card receivers on all the pumps at the gas station. So it's just like pollinating the pumps. Now, when you pull up, so when the car's filling gas, I do this, and then I leave. And then when you pull up to the pump, you have to actually take the card out in order to swipe your credit card. And now what do you got to do? You got nothing better to do than read my ad. Can you guys do that? I mean, it's not a Craigslist ad. It's pretty simple, right? Now, can you put these on a restaurant? So let's say you go to eat at a restaurant, right? And you're going to wash your hands at a restaurant, and your wife's waiting out at the table, and then you're done washing your hands. You just leave 4 of these on the sink, and then you go and you go eat. You're going to make money on that dinner because people are going to text you off this card, right? If you go to a movie theater, you could do the same thing. In fact, you could actually put cards on all the windshields of the movie theater and go watch your movie, and you'll make money while you're watching the movie. Have you guys ever made money this way before? If you go to Starbucks and you get and while you're waiting in line, you can take 10 of these cards. You know where they have the gift card section? You just drop 10 of these right there and you take off. Starbucks is going to be lead generating for you when you leave, right? So we've got 130 ways for you guys to lead generate. You will get leads, and you'll get leads this weekend. This card right here, we already have we already have the file. You already have the file. All you have to do is get your phone number on this, and you can have 5,000 of these cards for $50. Is that pretty simple? Pretty simple. Okay, now we're going to train you starting tomorrow on lead generation. You're not going to have any. Yeah, Facebook works great. I get most of my leads these days on Facebook because I'm doing so much. I do so much properties that all my friends and family. I never ask my friends and family. They ask me. So I'll be doing stuff on Facebook. Hey guys, just closed another 6-unit building. Hey guys, just sold another 2-unit building. And what do you think my friends and family would say? In a private message, you're like, all right, I'm sick and tired of all the stuff you're doing. How are you doing it? Right? Whatever. If I put a picture of my car on Facebook, I get hits. The point is, here's the point. The point is, we already know that people out there are looking. Yes, you guys all know it. Okay, you might as well just get in their way and make money on it. Okay, so after somebody lead generates to you, so somebody tells you that they want to be in, the only thing that we need you to be is a fantastic appointment setter. Because to be honest with you, on Monday morning, you could be working with us, but you won't be selling anything. You know why? You don't know anything. You don't know how this stuff works. You can't explain it better than Mike Adams right now, can you? Of course you can't. Doesn't mean you can't make money next week. So here's my question. Can you do this? So let's say you do get leads this weekend from Craigslist ads or Facebook ad. We actually have a really cool Facebook ad that you can just plop up on Facebook your first time, and you'll get leads this week. All right. So can you do this? So let's say somebody answers your ad. You call them up. I'll just use Romero since you're paying attention. Ring ring. Hi, may I speak to Romero, please? This is Romero. Who's this? Romero, my name is Scott, and I'm calling you because you had answered an ad about real estate investing and making money with us. You remember that ad yesterday? Oh, yeah. Listen, Romero, the National Director, Scott Rowe, is hosting a 15-minute briefing either tomorrow on Tuesday at 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. Which one can you make? Now, here's the toughest thing that you got to answer. They might ask you, well, I've got some questions. I've got some questions about this. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm booking you to a 15-minute briefing with the National Director so you can get those questions answered. Can you make a 1 p.m. or a 7 p.m. briefing there, Romero? Can you guys do that? Can you do that on Monday from your house? Can you do that from Starbucks? Can you do that from the beach? Can you do that? You can, right? Okay, so the only thing that you need to do is book people to my 15-minute briefing. How many of you guys went to my 15-minute briefing? Anybody go to my 15-minute briefing? Okay, no problem. Recorded, doesn't matter. And you got there, right? Okay, great. Watch this. From the 15-minute briefing, where did you go next? You went to the 90-minute intro meeting, didn't you? Right? You saw the 4 currencies, you saw the 4 levels of real estate investing, you saw that stuff. Maybe you saw one of our other teammates doing it, whatever. But you went to a 90-minute intro meeting. Maybe you went to the recordings, I don't know. From there, you then go to the follow-up, which you're on right now. All right, ready for this? This is going to be an obvious question. What are the obvious indicators? No smoke and mirrors. What are the obvious indicators on this webinar that this system is working brilliantly? What's the obvious indicator? Ding! We're all still here, including this guy, right? At one point, I was the guy that answered the ad. Today, I'm running the webinar. Does that make sense? So we're all here. Now, from here, now listen, let me tell you something. Here's what you're going to get. From the follow-up, we go to everybody goes to a Q&A form. We keep putting up Q&A forms. And the reason I'm showing you this is because I want to show you how you're going to make money next week. You're going to start making money next week if you do what we tell you to do, which is get people to our 15-minute briefing. All right? Then they go to the Q&A form. Okay? Now let me give you guys some numbers on this. So let's talk about some data, because you can run a business on data. All right? So if you send 10 people to the 15-minute briefing this week, we know that 7.2% of them, well, 72%, 7.2 of those people will actually opt in to go to the intro meeting. Okay, so 7 out of the 10 people are going to say, yeah, that was good enough. I want to go to the intro meeting. All right, and let's say just half of those people, 3.5, get to the 90-minute intro meeting. And then let's just say, and I'm dumbing it down as if you lose half of everybody. They don't even show up. Right? They don't show up because you suck. You don't know how to get a hold of them. You're like, I don't know what to say on the phone. But they just naturally half just come to the meeting, right? Say 1.7 will make it to the follow-up. We know that 63% of people that go to the follow-up will actually go to the Q&A. Now, here's what we really have happening on my team. 14% of all the people that make it to a follow-up start in our business, which means that if 63% are filling out the Q&A form, 14% actually start. All right? So if you get 10 people to a follow-up, so if you have 100 people going through a briefing, and then 72 of them opt in, and then only 35 show up, and only 17 show up, and then eventually you get to a 14% of 17, the idea here is, what I'm saying is, we have about a 10% Q&A form rate, which means that if you're good at getting back in touch with somebody and saying, okay, let's get you started, and it's really simple to get started. You don't even have to collect credit card information. All you have to do is send them a link and they can start through your back office. It's crazy. Crazy simple. And that's what I was like. I'm like, you guys set up all this infrastructure, and all I got to do is use it. Now, this infrastructure right here did not exist when I started. When I started, we had to take a laptop to somebody's house and do follow-ups and convince them, right? That you were salespeople when I started, right? My wife and I realized that we could attract people that wanted to be real estate investors that didn't want to do sales, right? We're like, all right, everybody wants to be a real estate investor, but we can't teach somebody how to be good at sales is hard, right? So what we developed was this system that you're looking at right now to make sure that you guys don't have to be salespeople ever and make 6 figures, okay? All you have to do is get them into the system so that experts do the talking for you. Anybody like that? Okay. It sounds good. What's the difference between sounds good and is good? Because you know what? The only reason I'm showing you the numbers, Anton, is so that you see the is behind the good, right? behind that. All right, let me take you to one place here. You guys are about to be blown away. This is what you're gonna like. Okay, let me see the good, Scott Rowe. I'm with you. All right, so I'm in my back office right now. You guys are all gonna have a back office login to the Nationwide Business Development Group. Everybody on this line, if you start with us today. And it doesn't have to be today. It could be tomorrow. It doesn't matter. There's no pressure, right? As soon as you start with us, you're gonna have access to the site. Now, you guys, if you start today, you could be on the rookie training tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time with Mike Adams. He does a fantastic job. There are 4 sets of trainings that you should see in order to get started. If you want, by this weekend, if you started today with your person, you could have these four trainings taken care of, and you could be well on your way on Monday to making money next week, right? So you'll watch a message from Scott Rowe. Start your week out strong. Mash the gas. That's from me. It's 30 minutes of saying, look, even though you don't have real estate success, people are going to tell you that you're lucky. They're going to be like, I want to be like you in your first week if you do what I tell you to do, okay? Watch recent rookie training. You could actually watch a recording here. Watch a recent Business Center training. Now, this is training for the back office at Renatus. Top 20 things new IMAs need to know. All right, that would be an independent marketing affiliate. Okay, so we have all this information ready to go for you this weekend. You could be trained up this weekend and start a new job for yourself from home on Monday. Let me show you what happens. You're going to start using our systems just like I explained to you. 15-minute, 90-minute follow-up Q&A. This is where the Q&A data goes. Watch this. So the Q&A data follow-up, you have opt-ins from the briefing and then the Q&A data. After somebody fills out a Q&A form, it comes to us real time, and then we put all the information up here. All you need to do is sort by your name alphabetically, and you can see all the sales that you are making. So this is last week's sales, right? So Pamela Doherty came through the system from Betty Montgomery. I don't even know Betty Montgomery. I don't know where she lives. I just know that she's on my team somewhere. She had somebody go through the system, and Pamela wants an extreme combo. That is $10,000 being paid to Betty Montgomery. The advanced tier, so Carlo Rota, who's in Colorado, I do know where he is. He just made $4,000 on one advance. Well, that's one advance, and this Mario Munoz still has questions. So he's got $4,000 coming in, and he's got to get this girl's questions after. Devin Haley, who's in Philadelphia, by the way, he's getting $10,000 from an extreme combo. Okay, Jacob Molitor is getting $10,000 from an extreme combo. Lori, that's probably Lori Wetzel. Alec Williams she's getting $1,000 for that essentials. But let's look at Marco DeLeo. He's getting $10,000 plus another $10,000 from 2 different people. Isn't that great? Who else? Mark Hansen's getting $10,000. He's in D.C. He's getting 10 G's. Washington, D.C., that is. Okay, here, look at Melinda. She's getting 10 G's. Rachel's getting 10 G's. Now, Rachel's in Nebraska, Omaha, right? And you know what? Her brother is the one that brought her in. Let me tell you something. Her brother, last year at 20 years old, he made $25,000 just working out of his dorm room in the last 6 months of last year. And his sister's like, "How are you making money? You're not delivering pizzas." He's like, "Yeah. He's going to Nebraska." He just turned 21 this week. And he'll never need a job again. He's going to go through college, and he's just having fun in college. He's not going to need a job after college because of what he's doing with us. Isn't that great? His sister's like, "Well, I don't want to need a job either." Right? All right. Okay. You guys all understand that? Is that good for you guys to see? Now, let me ask you, does that clarify some stuff for you guys? Because if you can handle the lead generation, and if you can handle the appointment setting into the 15-minute briefing, into the 90-minute intro, and into the follow-up, right? If you can just help people get through this system, then you're going to make money. Okay? Okay. All right. Now, the last thing I got to go over is the compensation program for you guys. So I really need you to pay attention because this will be the first time you've seen it. So here we go. Hold on, please. I think it's this one. There we go. You're already in. You're like, you had me at hello, Scott Rowe. I hear you. It's real hard to fight this, isn't it? It's really, really hard because, you think about all the time you give to your company. You're going to give your life away to a company, and you're only going to make 4 hours worth of money in a whole 12-hour day. You're only allowed to make 4 hours because the rest of it's going to your government. And you're going to start shifting things. Like your trajectory might be down here right now, but as soon as you start working on this on Monday, it's going to go instantly up. Like the life trajectory. will go up if you start working with us. That's what I really want to achieve for you guys. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, I'm going to cover this compensation program. This is the Renatus compensation sheet, and if you start with us, you'll have access to this so you can practice it and stuff like that. But you're going to notice there's a certification line in the Renatus compensation program. On this sheet, this is the most important line I want you to take note of. Now, it does take $125 to become an independent marketing affiliate with Renatus. Okay, that is separate from the educational costs. Your education costs can never cover that. It would be illegal. Okay, so you got to pay $125 to become an independent marketing affiliate, and that is an annual cost. There are no monthly costs. Okay, so annually, $125 is what I've paid the last 8 years. All right, now everybody on the line here has a mentor. All right, that's what Renatus calls them. And this compensation program is actually based on the insurance industry. So in the insurance industry, there is a broker-agent relationship. It is not multi-level. Renatus is not registered with any attorneys generals around the country as a multi-level marketing program because they don't qualify as a multi-level marketing program, right? So this is actually based on the insurance industry. It's a direct sales program. You make so much money on commissions, right? In multi-level marketing, you have to build a team, and that team makes money for you. That's multi-level marketing. In this business, it's actually sales, okay? And even though we're helping you make the sales, you're making big commissions on the sales. So that's why it's just like the insurance industry. So a broker-agent relationship is what this was modeled on. The broker in the insurance industry is called a mentor in Renatus. Everybody clear on that? Just say yes or no. Okay. Some people get confused. They're like, is this multi-level marketing? I'm like, if it was, I wouldn't be in, because multi-level marketing companies, you got to build this big team before you make a dime. I was making money my first week so that I could support my family. In multi-level marketing companies, you don't really get to support your family in your first week. You have to have a job while you're trying to build a team. Oh, okay. Get it? Okay, clear chat. All right. What else am I missing here? That's it. Okay, so let's go over the compensation program. Now, today, guys, you guys have 4 choices that you get to make today on this comp plan. 4 choices. Choice number 1 is, hey, Scott, I'm not enrolling in anything. I'm only doing the 125 and doing marketing. Is there anybody out there that just wants to do that? Choice number 2 is enrolling in the essentials. Choice number 3 is enrolling in the advanced. And choice number 4 is enrolling in the extreme package. So only one person's interested in just doing the marketing side, huh? Everybody else is getting the education? Good for you guys. All right, so let's go with, so Kayla, you just want to do the marketing? Who else? Let me find out who. Dorian just wants to do marketing. Matt only maybe wants to do anything. Okay. No doing marketing for you, Emily? You just want to do real estate? I don't get it. Clear. Clear chat. Clear chat. Okay, clear chat. I just opened up a wasp nest. I've never asked that question before, so let's clear this. Okay, for those of you guys that just want to do the marketing, this would be the choice you're paying attention to, choice number 1, okay? If you're deciding to do choice number 1 here today, then here's what your life looks like. You got a mentor, right? You'll put some ads out there just like we talked about. You'll have somebody answer the ads. You'll put them through the 15-minute, the intro meeting, the follow-up. They'll go to a Q&A form, right? Then they're going to recontact you, right? And here's what happens. Now, I'm going to give you a challenge here. Let me tell you, I got to lay this out for you guys. Here's the biggest challenge I find for the people that only do the marketing. When you go to put their order in, they're going to ask you, so, Joseph, what did you think of the education? And if Joseph's answer is, oh, I didn't want the education. I just want you to get it so I can make some money. How's that feel? Not too good, right? Then they're like, so you're selling me something that you yourself didn't get into? Yeah, I need to make some money. All right, it's a challenge. Here's how it looks if you do it. On your first person, you are only going to get credit for the essentials. So let's say the person wants the essentials and an AIT order. Well, you're not allowed to put in AIT orders until you're certified at the essentials. So while you're going through training with your mentor, and that's exactly what this is, this certification line was designed as training with your mentor. Because let me tell you, When we started off, the mentors would have to take people to people's houses. So when I started off in this business and I was mentoring somebody, they're like, hey, can we go talk to this person at their house? Or can you get on the phone with them? So there was a lot of mentor help, right, to get you good at what you're doing. And Renatus paid the mentors through that sale. Okay, let me show you how. So on your first person, let's say they want the Essentials and the AIT. Well, you're only going to get credit for the Essentials, and that's it, because you're not Essentials certified yet. There's two different products. The Essentials is one of them. So you're going to get, ready for this? Renatus is going to pay $1,000 for that Essentials. Okay, they're going to pay $1,000. That is going to go to you and your mentor. You are going to get $125 of it, right, to cover your $125 cost that you just did. And your mentor, for helping you from start to finish, is going to receive $875 of it, because they're taking time out to really do all the work, your mentor, because you're just watching them. Okay, so you definitely want to use your mentors. Even though our systems are a lot easier than it used to be in the old days, you definitely want to use your mentors to understand the systems. Okay, now on the second sale, you're only going to get credit for the Essentials. You're going to get $125, and the mentor is going to get $875. On the third sale, you're going to get credit on the Essentials. You're going to get $125. Your mentor is going to make $875. Now you are certified at the Essentials product. Okay, so that on your fourth sale, you will receive $1,000, and you will receive $1,000 for life now. So every time you put an Essential sale in, you're going to get $1,000 for the rest of your life. You guys understand what I just laid out? Y for yes or R for redo. That's all I want to see in the chat line. Y or R. Let me clear this in a second. Y'all get it? It's great. Smart folks. All right. I'm okay with the redos. I'm okay with it. I mean, the most important thing is that you comprehend it, not that we move fast. See, sometimes getting it is more important than getting through it. Okay. All right. So now we're talking about. So if we're only talking about choice number one here, not enrolling in anything. Okay. So you got to find 3 people, and then you're certified at Essentials. No matter what they get, they got to get at least the Essentials. Now you're certified at the Essentials. You're starting to make $1,000 per Essentials for the rest of your life. And now your AITs will count. So now when you put an AIT order over here, they will not let you count your AIT orders. You will only get credit for Essentials. But as soon as you pass that line, then you are now able to let your AITs count. Okay, and this is how you get certified at the AIT program to make these big commissions. Watch this. You still have a mentor helping you with your AIT program, okay? Sales. Even though you're making $1,000 on the Essentials, and everybody's got to do an Essentials first, to get certified at your AIT, this is what it looks like. Every time you write an advanced package order, $3,000 is generated, and it goes to the mentor for helping you. Every time you write an extreme order, $9,000 is generated, and it goes to the mentor to help you. Okay, this is your training. This is their training pay, the mentors. Okay, but credit for those sales, the credit for the sales will actually go into this bucket. So 3,000 and 9,000 and 3,000. So your job is to fill this bucket like a bucket of water until it reaches the $45,000 mark. Once your mentor has made $45,000 helping you, you are now certified and you don't need your mentor anymore. Make sense? You are now entitled to the $3,000 and $9,000 commissions on those advanced and those extremes. Okay? If you sell an Essentials and an extreme, you get $10,000. So those extreme combos will pay you $10,000. That's why I was mentioning that those people were making $10,000. Okay? Now, once you're certified, there is an override paid to the mentors for helping you. So what Renatus says is, hey, we'd like to thank you for training up your student. And now that they're certified, we're going to pay you 5% of their sales for the rest of your life. So the overrides are 100, 300, 900, or $1,000 in overrides. Once you train somebody up and they become certified, you get overrides on them for life. And you actually get it 3 levels down, which means that anybody they train up, you get overrides on. Anybody they train up will get overrides on as well. So it's pretty crazy. Okay, here's my question for the room. Do you guys understand? I'm going to change the color really quick here. Do you understand that you must be certified at Essentials in order to put in AIT orders? Yes or redo? Okay. Once again, getting it is more important than getting through it, guys. So stick with me here. This is your future. This is your new trajectory, by the way. This starting this week. Clear chat. Okay. Do you understand that when you write these orders over here, these orders, these commissions are generated, they are going to your mentor, and your job is to fill this bucket up to $45,000, and once that's full, you are now certified at this program too. Yes or redo? Okay. Clear chat. Clear chat. I think they got it. Okay, now last but not least, and do you understand that once you are certified, your mentor will start making 5% of your overrides on you for the rest of your life? You'll get it too if you want to become a mentor. If you want to be a mentor, you're going to get overrides too. Okay? All right, clear chat. They all got that. All right, let's talk about option number 2 here, guys. All right, and once again, I'm going to tell you this. It is very hard to sell something that you yourself did not believe in. And the only way your clients are going to believe that you believed in it is by enrolling it in yourself. Does that make sense? There's no amount of convincing that you can do to a client to say, well, I do believe in it. I just couldn't afford it. Then your client's going to say, well, then what's your plan? Well, my plan is to pay for the education by marketing. You just gave your plan away to your client. They're like, all right, that's my new plan too. Guess how much you make on that? 0. Because you didn't sell a product. And they're like, I don't want the product then. I want to do what you're doing. See, all your people are going to want to do what you do, right? So let's talk about getting into the program this is choice number 2 now. Let's talk about choice number 2. If you decide to do choice number 2, right, which is actually getting just the essentials, and you could do that with as little as $400 down. You could do it, if you're on this team right now, you could do it for as little as $34 a month. Is that crazy? Okay. So watch this. So that is no money down and $34 a month, by the way, on one of our programs. Okay, so the Essentials package, if you decide to get the Essentials package, you can actually knock off one of those stick figures as you. All right, so you just took care of you. Now, your mentor, so what, in essence, by getting your Essentials, you knock off a stick figure. You don't have to go find somebody. You're that first person now. Okay, your mentor is going to get $1,000 off of that. Now when you find your first person, you're only getting credit for the Essentials. Instead of making $125, you are now entitled to $500. So the $1,000 is now a split. $500 will go to the mentor, and $500 will go to you. On your second person, you're going to get credit for the Essentials and the Essentials only. You're not going to get $125. You're going to get $500, and the mentor is going to get $500. Now you are certified one person earlier. So that on your third person, you're going to get $1,000 and you're going to get it for life. You guys understand the difference? Yes or redo? You get paid more and you got to do less work. Who likes getting paid more and doing less work? Anybody like getting paid more and doing less work? Because I do. And here's where the less work comes in. The less work is going to be this. When people say this, so Joseph, what did you think of this education? Now your answer is this. Let me tell you what I think of the education. I'm taking my tax and legal strategies. Let me tell you why I'm not paying for myself anymore. Let me tell you why the government's paying for my Lamborghini. Let me tell you why I'm writing off part of my house right now. Let me tell you why I'm only paying 7.5% in income tax versus you who are paying 33%. And they're like, you had me at hello, get me some Essentials. You see that? So when you start talking from strength about what you're doing with the education, you're going to create a following that you never thought you create before. It's incredible. People are like, I got to hang out with you. If you're out there like going, well, I didn't get the education, but I want you to buy it so I can make some money. It's a little bit different. I'm just letting you know. Just saying. All right. You guys with me? Now, the certification on the container is exactly the same as it was before. Okay, now let's cover choice number 3 or 4. Let me cover one last thing here really quick. Some people ask me, they're like, well, why did Bob Snyder do that? Make it easier for the ones that get it. Because he wanted to make sure you get your money back, silly person. If you pay for $2,000, you're like, let's get these people their money back quicker. This is why this is one of the reasons that we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Because we don't have a lot of students that owe 20 grand to anybody. They get it paid off quick. Do you understand? So this is one of our reasons for our great rating. He wanted you to get paid off quick. Now let me put it this way. I'm going to give you a plan here. This is one of the plans. Some of you guys have $400. You could put here's a guaranteed financing. You could put $400 down on the essentials, and if you made an essential sale next week, how much do you get back? $500. So you would get your $400 back plus $100 on top of that next week. Does that sound like a good plan? See, it's not a blackjack table. We're not talking about you putting money on a roulette wheel and hoping that red or black comes up. We're talking about you working next week in a system that already works and getting paid so that the education cost can get paid by your marketing. That's the point. All right. Okay, the last thing I want to cover, I want to cover the AITs now. Here we go. See, unfortunately, most people don't get a chance to plan their lives. They're already planned by their parents and their bosses. Later on, their bosses, right? I'm giving you a chance to plan your trajectory the rest of your life. I'm giving you a chance to set up your 5-year-old and your 10-year-old with rental properties should something happen to you. That's what we're doing today here. Okay. All right, let's talk about choice number 3 or choice number 4. If you decide to do choice number 3 or choice number 4, which is get the advanced or get the extreme, your life is radically different on this compensation program. Let me show you. You are going to receive bonuses for getting choice number 3 or choice number 4. The first bonus that you get is called the CHOP. Okay, say that in your own brain, the CHOP. What that means is if you decide to get an advanced combo or an extreme combo, they will actually chop off the top of the container for you so that you don't owe $45,000 in that container. You only owe $27,000. Is that significant? That's an $18,000 cash advantage to you, right? So when my mentor told me that, I looked at her and I said, let me get this straight, Anna Cho. If I get the extreme combo for $19,994, you guys are going to give me a cash advantage on that AIT so I get certified quicker and I start making money faster? She goes, yes. I'm like, all right, no brainer. You're giving me $18,000 if I do the $19,994. So do you guys understand the CHOP? Yes or redo? Please. Remember, we're getting it right. Trying to be comprehensive. Now, here's what I want you to appreciate about what you see us doing here on the follow-up. We're going to be doing it with your clients next week. Would you like us to take the time out with your clients next week so that you make sure that you get sales? Right. Next Friday, you guys can have clients on here. Okay, clear chat for me. All right, here is bonus number 2. Bonus number 2 is, and eventually, maybe you guys think you're a better public speaker than I am, and that's fine. I'm looking for people to replace me. That's why I have the Jaleesas and the Mike Adams stepping up, right? So if you guys are public speakers on this line, I'm telling you, if we can open up something in your city, it's a lot of money if you're in front of a room. It's incredible. So anyway, but let's go to this. Okay, so bonus number 2 is called Your Own Tuition Counts. Your Own Tuition Counts. What that means is if you decide to get an advanced tuition, $3,000 is going to go to your mentor. If you decide to get an extreme tuition, $9,000 is going to go to your mentor, right? Because your mentor is getting paid that money, it is actually going to subtract out of your container, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to say, look, we're going to take off the $9,000 off your own tuition and leave you with an $18,000 bucket. All right, so in my case, $9,000 plus $18,000, I got a $27,000 cash advantage for doing $19,994 program, and I didn't have any money. 5 days later, I was totally broke. 5 days later, I had the program. It was great. because of findthemoney.info. You should go there and watch it. Okay, so, all right, do you guys understand the second bonus? Your own tuition is going to count in the bucket? Just making sure everybody got it. Got it. Where's my guy, Joseph? You okay, Joseph? Did I crush your dreams? Dang it, I didn't want to buy the education. Darn it. All right, clear chat. Clear chat. I think I may have crushed his dreams. All right, here we go. All right, you got one more bonus. Now, there's actually one more bonus that only applies to the extreme combos and the extreme combo only, and it is the absolute best bonus. Bonus number 3 in green is only for the extreme combo holders, okay, the people that do this. Here's the bonus. It's called simultaneous certification. Simultaneous certification simply means this. You don't have to wait until you're certified at Essentials to put AIT orders in. Let me show you visually. Everybody say this. Simultaneous certification. Say it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Indulge the guy on the screen. Here we go. You clear the chat. Watch this. Here's what I mean visually. Simultaneous certification says this. You can certify at the Essentials and certify at the AIT at the same time. Right? You don't have to wait till you're certified at Essentials in order to start putting AITs in. All right? So the system will allow you to count any order that you put in before you're certified at the Essentials. So here's how this looked. So Scott actually got his Essentials and his Extreme. That's me. They actually put the Extreme in my container, right? So they chopped off my bucket. They subtracted the $9,000 from it, and that's all I had left over. So my sister Jennifer wanted to know, hey, how the hell are you doing what you're doing? Mom told me something about you doing real estate. I'm like, yeah, you should come down to this meeting. So my sister Jennifer was actually my second sale, and I didn't even try. My mom told her about it. So she got her Essentials, and here's what she did. After the meeting, she looked at me, she goes, so what did you and Nancy do? I'm like, well, we did everything because we didn't want to miss anything. We want to do all the strategies because of the 4 levels. And she goes, you know what? I'm going to go after that too. Then. I'm going to do that too then. That's what she said to her big brother. So she decided to get her Essentials and her Extreme as well because her big brother had done that already. It's social validation, I'm telling you. If I'd have said this, well, we started with our Essentials and we might upgrade later, she'd have been like, you know what? That's a good plan. I'll do that too. So she did what I did. So she got her Extreme as well. So $9,000 went in my bucket. And then my wife's Aunt Sharon decided, and remember, I wasn't certified at Essentials yet, but they were counting my AITs. So my wife's Aunt Sharon wanted to know how the heck we were doing real estate. She was already a landlord. She had 4 properties in her own name, which was bad to do. Her tax structures were terrible, right? And she realized that in the meeting. She's like, holy crap, man, I should have got this before I started anything. So she got her Essentials and she got her Extreme because she looked at me and she goes, what did you guys do? I'm like, well, we got everything because we didn't want to miss anything. Then she looks at my sister and says, well, what did you do, Jen? She goes, well, we got everything too. Then she looks at her husband and says, I guess we're going to do that too then. So her Extreme went right into the container too. That took me 8 days. So within 8 days, I was fully certified at everything. That's simultaneous certification. So I was actually certified at my Essentials and my AIT at the exact same time. Which brings us down to here. If you do an Extreme combo, so this is you, and your next one is an Extreme combo, and your next one is an Extreme combo, you're done in just 2 people. If you do it the hard way, if you do it the not enrolled way, you have to go through 9 folks before you're certified. 9. So it's just an easier way to think about it. Cool? All right, now I do want to talk about becoming a mentor because today Nancy and I have made, you remember the $95,000 I showed you in the last 10 weeks? You guys all remember that? That was just on overrides. I have not put an ad out there in 2 years. So I haven't put any advertising out there in 2 years. I don't get on the phone and talk to people. That's not what happens. So the money that I get in, I just open up the laptop and I see what money's coming in. All right? I want to explain that to you in detail so that you understand it. Cool? All right, so let's take Teresa. So Teresa, since you answered first, congratulations, Teresa. You're a mentor now. I got you certified out. So let's say Teresa is the mentor. Okay? Clear chat for me. Okay, Teresa, this week you got certified in 1 week. Congratulations, kind of like I did. And now you put an ad out there and a guy named Joe answers your ad. What are you telling him to do? Even though you're certified and you're a full-blown mentor, you do not have to stop using my systems. You put him in the 15-minute briefing. You put him into the intro meeting. You put him into the follow-up, and they fill out a Q&A form, and they say, hey, Teresa, I want an essentials, and I want the extreme. And then he asks you on the phone, so Teresa, what did you get? Oh yeah, I got it all too. It's awesome. Great. I'm doing the right thing then. So guess what happens, right? Well, here we go. I'm going to do something really quick here. So you put in his essentials order and you put in his extreme order. You get to make $1,000 on his essentials order, Teresa, and because you're getting $9,000 on his extreme because you're fully certified, you are now his mentor at the bucket. So you're going to get paid the $9,000. He's going to chop his bucket, and $9,000 is going to go in the bucket, but it's in your mailbox. So what did you make? You just made $10,000 off of having Joe go through my systems. Do you guys realize if you do that 10 times a year, you have a new $100,000 a year career? Is that crazy? Now tell me where you're going to find a $100,000 job this year. You may die and never make $100,000 at a job, because only 5% of, no, I'm sorry, yeah, only, I'm sorry, 0.5%, half of a percent of the population in America makes six figures. Your chance of making it is 99.5% not making six figures, unless you work with us. Now your future's up to you, nobody else. Isn't that great? All right, now watch this. So now you have Joe on your team, okay? Joe is an affiliate inside of your mentorship, Teresa. Watch what happens. Joe says, hey, Teresa, will you help me with some ads and some stuff? She goes, oh, yeah, no problem. Here, put this ad out there. You'll do great. So Joe goes out there, and his ad attracts a person named Kevin and a person named Carl. Now, what is Joe doing? Is he saying, Teresa, can you talk to these people? No. You say, no, just send them to the 15-minute briefing. I don't talk to them. You just send them to the 15-minute briefing. So Kevin and Carl are going to the 15-minute briefing. Then they go to the intro. Then they go to the follow-up, and they fill out a Q&A form. And Joe calls you up, Teresa, and says, Teresa, they filled out Q&A forms. They want everything. You're like, okay, good. Let's get their order in. Isn't that great? Is that simple? So Kevin decides to get in essentials, and Carl decides to get in essentials, because Joe's getting certified, right? So these are certifying sales for him. And they both want extreme tuitions to fill the bucket. So guess what? You're going to make 500 and 500 on Kevin and Carl's order, Teresa, because Joe's getting 500 of that essentials as well. But Joe doesn't get any of the $9,000. You're going to get an additional $9,000 and $9,000 on Kevin's order and Carl's order. And Joe put them in the system. Is that cool? So that means if you can help Joe get certified, you're going to make another $19,000 helping Joe get certified. That's $29,000 off of Joe and his certification. So let me put it this way. Once you are certified as a mentor, if you can help 3 people get certified, that means they're doing the work. If you can help 3 people get certified, you make $88,000 this year. While you're at the beach, while you're at Starbucks, while you're hanging out with your kids. This is why my wife and I have never needed a job ever again. Okay? Now watch this. You ready for this? Let me show you what happens here. Now remember, Renatus is going to thank you. You just got Joe certified, didn't you, Teresa? You just helped him get certified. So Renatus is going to say, you know what, Teresa, since you helped out Joe, we're going to give you 5% of his sales for the rest of your life. And we're going to pay it 3 levels down, which means that anybody that Joe trains and anybody they train, you're actually going to get overrides on as well, right? So you're going to make 5% on those 3 levels right there for the rest of your life as a high five thank you. Click. But what happens to Kevin and Carl? Let me show you that. Here's what happens to Kevin and Carl in this situation. This is going to be amazing for you guys. Watch this. Ooh, gonna be good stuff for you. All right, so you got Joe over here that you're overriding, and we've got Kevin and Carl. You got Kevin and Carl that are over here as affiliates for you, Teresa. So they actually remain behind. They don't go with Joe. You keep them because you did most of the work in the old system. So that also creates 2 more buckets for you. So what is Kevin and Carl doing? They're actually putting ads out there, right? So they're putting ads out there, and they attract a person named Bill and Bob. These are Bill and Bob. And Sam and Sherry. Well, guess what? They all want everything, so that is 4 more 500s for you, right? But it's also 4 more 9,000s for you, coming from their sales because you helped them. Now, Kevin and Carl will move into overrides next to Joe. And that leaves behind Bill and Bob, Sherry, and Sam on your team to work with next and help them get certified. Do you guys understand what I'm laying out here? Yes or redo? In fact, I'll actually take questions from you guys now. If you guys want to put some questions in there that maybe you needed answered in your brain, I'll actually take it. You guys have any long-term questions you want to answer it on? Let me share my screen. I'm going to show you how this is all tracked in Renatus. Watch this. This is awesome. Okay, so these are my commissions. All your commissions are paid out every Tuesday and Friday. There is a 7-day right of rescission. So somebody who says, I want an order, they have 7 days to cancel, no questions asked, and then after that, you're getting paid either on a Tuesday or on a Friday, right? So that's the timelines. My wife and I have made $95,000 in the last 10 weeks just on 5% overrides, right? We've made $1.1 million so far in this comp plan in 4 years, so it's been tremendous for us. Let me show you how we track the people. We've gotten a lot of people certified in our organization through this system that we created that you're now seeing. So if we look down our list here, you see all these people certified at Essentials, certified at AIT, Essentials AIT, Essentials AIT, Essentials AIT, Essentials AIT, Essentials AIT. In fact, we have 54 people that are actually certified to us, that are first generation fully certified. Watch this. You see this 200. Now this is our AMP system. You're actually going to have access to this in your back office. My wife and I have 212 people on our team today, as of this morning, right? We are 5-star certified, which means we're certified at the bucket. But if I click on this, you're going to see all the people that we have on our frontline team. Now, did we find all these people? Absolutely not. We only found about 10 people ourselves personally. We then help them get certified, and then we help those people get certified. But all those people that we help get certified end up on our team, our frontline team. So we make either full commissions or 5% on all these people. Okay, let's go to Jean Powers, though. I got a girl on my team. She's got 439 people on her team. She's 5-star certified. So I make 5% overrides on that front line, but I also make 5% overrides on all this right here. Okay, and if I click on Bill Ome, who I think is on the line here today, he's got 96 people on his team, and I override all that as well. See that? Cool. So it is all tracked in your back office. You don't got to worry about that. Now, the last thing I do want to bring up here for you guys is one last thing. Since I have a little bit of time, and I think you guys should stick with me with this because it's going to be really important for you to see, I'm going to share a document with you guys. Some people on this line are like, you know what? I don't want to get the education. I don't want to spend that kind of money. You're not spending any money. You're investing it. We already showed you how to get it all back. Does that make sense? You don't have to worry about not getting it back if you do what we tell you to do, because we're still using the systems this week. We're not going to shut those systems down on you, right? How come I don't have the 1 essentials a month in here? It's challenge here. Hang on a second. How come it's not here? Very interesting. Let me go grab it out of my computer here. Hang on a second. Hold on, please. I'll be right back here. 2015. Here it is. Okay, it's loading up. Let me answer these questions. Here's Romero. So we're still attending classes while this is happening? Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, you're going to have a 7-day right of rescission your first week. You can only see one class. You're going to start making money on Monday with us, right, while you're taking classes. What if you don't have the money for 125? Kayla, Why don't you have the money for 125? And you can't attend the classes while starting off. You're welcome. Why don't you have the 125? Let's reverse engineer your whole life back to how it started, right? How did broke start? Right? So if I'm 30, and listen, this is my situation. I was 38 years old and broke. I didn't have the money either, Kayla. I didn't have the money either. We've already told you how to go find the money, but you have so the answer was already answered for you. What if I don't have the 125? Then you go to findthemoney.info and you do what Scott Rowe tells you to do. If you can't handle doing what Scott Rowe tells you to do, you will flip burgers. And that's the reality of it all, guys. The reality of it, some people cannot handle working for themselves. They need somebody paying them because they will never have the audacity or the capacity to actually go and chase this kind of stuff down. It's just part of life. So you get, but the only thing, Kayla, is you get to determine that, right? You get to determine your altitude, right? See, if you're 30 years old and you're on this line and you don't have $20,000 sitting in a checking account right now that you could just write a check for this education on, you're broke. You've managed to work up to 30 years old and not even save 20 grand. How did you do that? And I'm telling you this with all the love in the world because I was 38 years old and I lost everything. So I had a lot and I lost it all. That happens very frequently in this country. Okay. So the question is, what's your plan on getting to the top of the mountain? What's your plan? Because if you don't have one and you got one that's better than one I just laid out, please invite me to your meeting because I haven't seen anything better than what I just showed you. And that's why I'm here today. I've only done two things in my whole life. I went to college and I started working with this company that I got to be a vice president in. After they kicked me out, I found this and I've never needed to do anything else. That is a testament to me not quitting. Does that make sense? I didn't quit the job. They quit on me. Does that make sense? All right. All right, here we go. All right, I'll take these questions, but I do want you guys to see this. This is a side-by-side comparison to the work you got to do and how much you will make if you make a 125 decision or an essentials decision or an extreme combo decision. But let me answer these questions. Here's 30. I'm 32 years old, have 6 children, work 15 hours a day, and I'm dead broke, but I'm going to figure this out. Of course you will. Go to findthemoney.info. If my husband and I both do this, we both pay the 125, right? Not necessarily, Teresa. Get back in touch with the person who invited you here. Fill out your Q&A form. Get your questions answered personally. All right, watch this, guys. I got one last thing. I'm going to cut you guys loose. I'm already a little bit late, but this is very important. Let's say you're here to do the 125 or get the essentials or extreme combo. This is the amount of work that you're going to have to do in order to make it happen. So let's assume that everybody wants an extreme combo because 52% of the people get them anyway. All right, so Adam decides to get an extreme combo. So this is you doing the 125. You're like, I just want to sell the stuff. No problem. Let me show you what you're up against. So Adam does an extreme combo. You get $125, but the college is paying out $10,000. Of the $10,000, you receive $125. Your mentor is going to get $9,875. Congratulations. Betty comes in extreme combo. You get $125. Your mentor gets $9,875. Carla, you get $125. Your mentor gets $9,875. But now you are certified at your essentials because you found your three, right? Now, when Denise comes down extreme combo, you are going to get $1,000 for that essentials order, and you're going to start filling that bucket with that check mark. So now your first $9,000 is going into the bucket, that container, okay? And your mentor just made $9 grand again. Same with Ed, same with Fran, same with Gino, same with Hank, same with everybody, right? So this is you now fully getting certified at everything doing 125. This is what you made. You made $5,375. Now, some of you guys are comfortable like that. That's great money because you've been broke your whole life. Here's what your mentor made. $74,000 on your efforts, right? So, look, you did all the work and your mentor made all the money. Now, in the old days, they would have had to help you through the situations like I talked about, going to the kitchen table. That doesn't happen in my system anymore. You guys are going to get certified out pretty quick. You guys might as well make the money on it. All right, let's talk about potential. Now, what do I mean by potential money? Potential money is what you make in your sleep. So Denise, Ed, Fran, Gene, and Hank are all on your team as essentials people. You will override them forever on that product, but these guys all got to get certified to you. So there's 500 and 500 going to you, and 500 and 500. So when these guys get certified their essentials, you get $500 a piece for each one, for a total of an additional $5,000 on each of these people getting certified the essentials. But your mentor gets to keep all of this certification money. So their potential is going to be this, $152,000. That is $226,000 that you give up to your mentor because you made this decision right here. Only 125. And you didn't go to findthemoney.info, and you didn't let me help you figure it out. Okay? All right, let's talk about getting the essentials. If you get the essentials, you're going to shift it up one person earlier. And this is not you getting AIT, this is you getting the essentials. And you could have the essentials for $34 a month. Oh, simple. Okay, watch this. Carl comes in now, and you're actually getting paid on his essentials, where you weren't if you did the 125. And let's just shift this up. So we shift it all up one, so that you're actually fully certified one person earlier. Now on Hank, you get the $1,000 plus the $9,000. See, it's the same amount of work, but you get paid 3 times more. Who likes doing the same work and getting paid 3 times more for it? Anybody? Your mentor makes $63,000. Let's check out your potential. This is you while you sleep money. This is your sleep money. Na, 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 na. While they're putting people in the system. You make $24,000 versus just 5. Who likes 5 times more sleep money? Anybody? See, today I make sleep money. I made $95,000 in sleep money in the last 10 weeks. Okay? Your mentor still gets $200,000. And I was broke when I came down, guys. I can't reiterate that enough. I was completely broke when I came down. Go to findthemoney.info and I'll show you how I did it. All right, now let's talk about getting Extreme Combo. If you decide to get the Extreme Combo, you get simultaneous certification, which means they're going to count this and this immediately for you. Both of them. You don't got to wait. That's 1. That's 2, and you're done with everything. If you get an Extreme Combo and find 2 more Extreme Combos, you are certified at everything now. So that every single person after that is all yours. You make all the money, not your mentor. You make all the sleep money, not your mentor. So guys, what I'm trying to show you is, this is the same amount of work, just a different decision. You're at decision time right now. What is your decision? Okay? All right. You guys get it now? All right, I'm done. Listen, I have given, here's the bowl. Here you go. It's for you. The choice is now yours. You either hit the button or you don't hit the button. Hit the button, don't hit the button. Right? If you don't hit the button, I wish you luck. Right? If you hit the button and you get to the QAforum.com, I look forward to helping you tomorrow morning on the rookie training. Tomorrow morning there's a rookie training. We want to train you up for 90 minutes so that you have leads coming in this weekend and you actually do the work on Monday from the beach. Okay? That's completely up to you. All right. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys is this. Go to QAforum.com, just like Michael put up there, right? When I end this meeting, it is actually going to go there automatically. So QAforum.com, QAforum.com. All right, so you fill this out, you let us know. All right, based on what I saw, I want to do everything with this group. Based on what I saw, I do want the Extreme Combo now because Scott Rowe explained it pretty good. And I just got to figure out funding. I may have questions. Maybe you guys can help me. If you want the Extreme Combo, then get it. Just get it. It's not that hard because even if you finance it, we've already given you a way to pay it off. I gave this company $20,000 and I had to finance it. They've given me $1.1 million back in 4 years. If you'd like the same thing happening for you, then you get in. Period. I'm not better than you guys are. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I wish you guys luck. Have a great day. I'll end the meeting now. You guys should see QAforum.com. Come up.